in a good run of form at the moment. He's ahead of the new Ferrari driver, Mario Andretti. Gonzalo Rodriguez in the second Aston Martin lines up alongside Alessandro Nannini, so 4 teams lock out the top 8. Jochen Rindt goes from 9th, and it's Enrique Mansilla, the Argentinian, who joins him and rounds out the top 10. The row behind are their teammates, Jody Scheckter, the double champion, and Eddie Cheever. Johnny Servo's Gavin outqualifies Mauro Baldi, a rare occurrence for the Arrows. They're 13th and 14th. Then the 2 Alphas, Depay ahead of Stomlin, but will they be like that come the end of the race? Bourdais goes from 17th, ahead of the 2 Lotuses, Reutemann 18th and Jarry 19th, and Jackie Ickx rounds off the grid.
Less than half a minute now till the start of round 15 of the championship. 1 round left after this, and as you say, Marco, the championship almost likely going to be wrapped up here. Rolf Stomlin doesn't have to do a lot. His teammate has to outscore him by, 11 points or more, and Prost has to basically win and hope that Rolf is not in the points. Oh, double hat-trick the pie. But anyway, the lights are now ahead of us for the start of the Brazilian IGP. Prost gets off from the line pretty much as is. It's Prost and Peterson and McLaren 1-2, remains like that. Beltoir is up into 4th, Amon stays in 3rd place. Pache down to 5th as Mario Andretti's fighting in the top 10. He's passed Gonzalo Rodriguez briefly, but passed back again. Mansilla 8th, Rindt 9th, down a position. Cheever fighting with Rindt, and that rounds out your top 10 so far.
Yeah, not much happening at the front, apart from the Astons advancing forward. It's been a shocking start for Andretti. He's out of the top 10 now. Cheever has scythed through the field from 12th up to 6th.
Yeah, brilliant start for the American in what is his debut season. He's going to be continuing on with RWB. The man who probably won't be will be his teammate Mansilla. There's obviously rumours about that Jackie Ickx is going to be the likely man to take his seat. But Prost with a comfortable lead out in front, which is quite interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, he's managed to get away from Peterson, who's been actually the pretty better McLaren driver recently, although he has not been on the podium. Well, neither of them have actually. It's been the same top 5 in the same order in the last 2 races. I wonder if we're going to get some variety today. But it's the field's all very well together. It's Depay who's advanced more of the 2 Alphas. I think Stomlin's actually lost positions while Depay is near the top 10 now.
Indeed. There's this massive snake of cars which you would expect early in the race, but some breakaways, but probably from the back of the grid up until what? Probably then Gonchi is a bit further away, but apart from that, it's massively packed together. Peterson taking some time down on Prost, but still a second behind, but has gotten to the DRS because clearly he's used some boost to get closer and swaps positions with Prost, and that's a good move from the McLaren team because they're broken away from the softer tyre, the harder tyre runner compared to their tyre runner of Jean-Pierre Beltoir, who's in 3rd place as Cheever now is battling Amon in 5th and 4th position.
I cannot understand why Cheever's so fast at the moment. Doesn't really make much sense, to be honest, but there we are. Amon's struggling a little bit. I wonder if he's overheating the tyres, but
indeed,
there's not much you can do about it. I think actually they are rather enjoying a circuit where the tyre temperature seems to be all right, because we've seen recently that it's been very difficult to get any temperature into the harder compounds, even in warm conditions.
Indeed. So Beltoir still not in a DRS, so now we've got this big split of the front running cars, Prost and Peterson, but they are on the softest tyres and they're going to be in sooner than everyone else but one other car, which is going to be probably around a similar time as them, maybe a bit earlier, which is Chris Amon. Let's see how the progress of the Alfa Romeos is going. They're in 17th and 13th, pretty much. Well, has he gone down a few positions, I think? Or he's around.
16th, he's down 1. Lotus made much
battling
better
with Balding. But they're obviously on the medium tyres, they're going for a bit longer. I mean, Brazil's interesting, though, because it has been in recent seasons, but certain things work and certain things don't. But for once, this race is running later in the season, but it doesn't really make a difference when we run all year long. The seasons change anyway, so it's just going to be interesting. But Cheever now ahead of Amon, but he can't break away, so this group is just going to keep losing time to the front-running McLarens at the moment, as the two Tyrrells battle each other in 7th and 8th, sorry. Scheckter and Rindt.
I think that Aston Martin made a mistake when Beltois was third. I think they needed to get Beltois clear of the DRS range of Eamon and then get Rodriguez up ahead of Eamon and Cheever so they could go after McLaren. Now they're just losing pace because I think they've got more pace than Cheever and Eamon and they can't utilise it effectively whilst they are in traffic.
Indeed, and Eamon's almost out of Cheever's DRS, but is going to remain in there.
Yeah, he's not quick enough.
No, Cheever is not, but he's going to stay ahead now, so you would imagine with the pace that he's got, he can build up a gap to bridge away from the Kiwi driver in the Ferrari, who's been made to look a bit slightly, well, not too much silly by the debut of Andretti. He was only a place behind her, but Andretti was the star of that race, of course, because he was on pole position and was running well at points of the race, and did get points on his debut, of course, but Eamon got one as well. I think it was 2, wasn't it? It was 9th place.
Yeah. Ferrari in a close battle with Aston Martin for 6th in the championship. The other close battle is 4th between Brabham and Tyrrell, although Jody Scheckter's 6th position in Canada has gone a long way to help Tyrrell to extend that gap.
Yep. And Eamon has been broken by Cheever from DRS, and now Beltois is going to get into a good position, and his teammate as well, Gonzalo Rodriguez. So now 3 soft runners running in the top 5. And they'll try and set off, but you can't imagine Cheever's going to be quick enough to get by. He might be, though, as the soft tyres, sorry, the super soft start to degrade as the race goes on, but McLaren will be reasonably happy with that they've managed to get a decent gap on people. But anyway, Rint up into 6th now as Eamon is dropping like a stone at the moment. Yeah, 3 positions.
This is what worked so well for Brabham last season with Jarno Trulli getting on the podium. Starting on super soft and taking pole position.
And Eamon is struggling immensely now. He's going to be probably out of the top 10 within a few corners. He's not careful. The 2 Brabhams lurking behind him, Pache and Anini, who are both likely to remain now. There was a threat for Pache potentially with some other drivers, but that's not going to really happen. And Anini is obviously definitely staying after a season spent at both Tyrrell and Brabham, and he probably feel like he's done one over on his old team really this season. Been made to look a bit stupid being put in the car for only a few races, and then has had some great drives this season. Obviously no win though, but that's obviously going to be very difficult with an outfit like Brabham. Anyway, first stopper, Prost on lap 8.
Eamon in 2.
And onto the medium tyres. So, they've gone 2 steps down on the tyre. Obviously, they want to run long, don't they? So, that does make sense.
Yeah, but I suspect fresh mediums are probably quicker than softs, which are 9 laps old.
Indeed. Anyway, let's see. Peterson, the one who's going to go longer then, as Cheever is coming up to the back of a Swede driver, but it won't really matter because he's going to be in this lap, and actually he's using all of it to get to the back of Peterson. I imagine, well, I don't know what that can be, because it depends whether the manager is in the game or not. It might just be the AI doing it, which possibly it might be. Anyway, Rint is broken away from Scheckter, but Rint is broken away by Cheever as well, so that's pretty important. Here comes Pache past the South African 2-time champions. Last 2 seasons, of course, have been a bit of a disappointment. No win this season, and not even.
Should have won in Hungary, though.
Yeah, obviously he should have won in Hungary, but he's had no podium either. There should have been podiums probably in Japan and also last race, but it's just a case of fuel being the problem towards the end of the race, and as a result having to back off late on to do the best that he can, but still running out.
Thirsty Renault turbo engine.
Indeed, it is their first
Renault
season back.
Yeah.
It is their first season back after a great successful spell as their own team for a long while.
Cheever is legitimately leading this by quite some distance.
He is. He's got great pace over Rint at the moment. And Pache's still not close to Rint either.
It's absolutely bizarre.
Here comes Mansilla then. Been a long time since we've seen him feature high up in races. Obviously
yes,
he did win that. Yeah, obviously did win that European IGP a couple seasons ago.
Well, there's nothing else for him really to achieve since he's done that.
Yeah, and that's probably why a lot is not really going to happen with his career now. There's not much that he can do, and that's why he's likely going to step away after this season. Obviously, as I said before, Ix the rumour, because Jean-Pierre Jabouille, the potential star champion, is going to take his seat at Ligier.
Lots of people in this lap.
Yeah, Mansilla, Scheckter, Nannini, Beltois, all in. 4 cars. And they go to the soft tyres, at least in Mansell's case. They're all in the same box for some reason in the game. As Scheckter and the three others go onto the medium tyres, Nannini, Scheckter and Beltois. So where are the McLarens? McLarens are really so far ahead anyway. It doesn't, although Mansell isn't too far behind. He is on the softer tyres though. It's the other ones who are on the mediums that are a bit further back.
McLaren's lap times really aren't that great. Prost and Payton both on 22.4s last time around. It's not much faster. I mean, it's faster than everyone ahead, but not by much.
No. And they're going to be going longer, especially the medium guys as well. So
Beltois needs to clear Eamon pretty sharpish.
Question of how quickly the tyres do degrade on the mediums, and do they start taking chunks out? But by then, they're going to be they're going to be only a couple of laps away from their pit stop. Anyway, Cheever, look at that. So far ahead of Rindt. And where's he going to fall into? He's going to be ahead of the McLarens briefly.
So McLaren haven't actually made any time. They're still behind Cheever.
They're slightly closer to him, I think, because he did boost a bit.
Yeah, but Prost was ahead.
But yes, he did, but Cheever did boost ahead and got about a second in front before they pit. Sorry, that was on Peterson, yes, but
yeah.
But he was a bit ahead, and he's trying to pull away now on the soft tyres. So that's interesting, of course, but McLaren will hope that the pace does come into the car eventually. They're 15 seconds away from the leader, Patrick Depay. We're about 20 seconds behind Cheever. So that showed how much of a gap Cheever had built up with that excellent first stint.
He's pulled an absolute blinder.
He has, and he's
incredible stuff from the American.
And he's already a second ahead of Ronnie Peterson, and Ronnie Peterson's got no answer. Look behind. Mansell passed Rindt. But you would expect that. Rindt's actually done quite well there, I think.
We saw in Spain that Cheever was close to a podium before he ran out of fuel, as did Mansell. It was a shame for RWE because it's their best race of the season. He should have had. He's only got 3 points this season, but he should have got a lot more. But this is exceptional.
Jarry into the pit lane, lap 14 of 69.
That's
so
early.
One of the
That's a four stop.
I know there's Ix in as well. That's really early for and they're going for a hard tyre, so maybe not then.
Odd choice in my view, but I guess we'll find out if it pays off or not.
Well, let's see where they come out first. So where's Jarry going to slot into? He's going to be behind both Tyrrells and just ahead of Rodriguez, but only for a slight amount of time. Oh no, he will be, because Rodriguez didn't have DRS behind Jarry, because he wasn't behind him for the DRS Delta split. Anyway.
Yeah, Mansell's got to get ahead of the McLarens here in the battle for what is effectively net P2.
Yep. And he's going to be up behind his teammate almost quickly as well, but
yeah, I'm not sure what Lotus are doing here. Reutemann is not covering off Alfa Romeo. He could have got a gap to Depay, but he has chosen not to.
Yeah. Going to the hard tyres, so they're trying to obviously not do a 4. They're going to do, the conventional, I suppose.
I mean, it's going to be a 3 stop, but it's an early first stop.
I know, yeah.
Really early first stop.
You sort of only move things about in terms of that when you're doing refueling. Like, you'll do a longer second stint or something like that. They're not really for tyres, though. You want to take tyres to probably about the limit that they can be, so...
Unless there's just no fall off at all.
Yeah. Well, no, you would just stay out then, wouldn't you, I suppose, if that was the case. But, you would go longer, but shortening your stint, I don't think really makes any sense, to be honest.
Well, it looks like Jarry's going to catch Scheckter.
Well, Depay's reacting. Yeah,
lap 17 is when we'd have... Oh, no, it's lap 16. Yeah, 16, 17 is when we would have expected people to come in for...
So Reutemann's pit stop was pretty much as usual. It's Jarry as a lap earlier, but...
yeah.
And Depay goes to the hard tyres as well. And he's lost a lot of time, though, because he's not even in that DRS train, and he's... What, 5 places behind Reutemann? And Jarry's 8th.
I'm confused by Aston Martin's fall away.
Yeah.
They've gone on such a big train like
they've gone on the medium tyres as well, and they did pit earlier, so they just didn't have any pace.
I wonder if when Stommelen rejoins, he'll be behind one of the Arrows cars.
Potentially. We'll have to see how where's Depay in relation to Andretti? He's in his DRS, so he's going to be within that.
Yeah, he's caught up because it's such a huge train. It's impossible not to, really.
Yeah, I know, but now it's going to be difficult trying to pass them. And where does Stommelen come? Because you would think he'd be further behind. Is he going to get... But he's not going to get DRS, is he? Because he's coming out the pit lane, so... But he'll close up, I should think. Anyway, back to the front of the race, and it's a 1-2 for RWB, which is almost unbelievable at the moment. Eddie Cheever from Enrique Mansilla. A duo not really done enough for RWB this season, I suppose. I mean, Cheever's had good races, but it's RWB have had better seasons, I should say. There was
They're
a rumor
still behind Ligier in points, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, indeed. And there was a rumour that Martini were going to drop them as a sponsor, and they were likely going to move to Benetton, but that has fallen through, so Martini will likely stay. In fact, almost certain they will, because they've now disbanded with Techno and Star, and it'll be their sole sponsorship in the in any of the championships. Anyway, Peterson and Rindt with his boosting, and just, I don't know why, he's just quick in this part of the race. He was not far up behind Mansilla, and that was pretty good considering he went longer, and Mansilla was on the softer tyres, and he was still on his old soft tyres. But Schechter's not too far behind as well, not too shabby from the two Tyrrells, really.
Well, they're certainly putting their case for finishing ahead of Brabham in points.
Indeed. I think it was Schechter who got ahead of someone. Did he get ahead of Nannini again in the Drivers' Championship, or was it just teams? Yeah, he
was,
did.
No, Brabham never passed Tyrrell in the teams, but Nannini was ahead of Schechter until Schechter's excellent performance in Cannes. Actually, a really, really good performance from Schechter went unnoticed with Singapore, because he didn't actually score any points, but he was very far behind after a difficult first stint and nearly took the final point. It's a very good performance that went unrewarded. He's been very good recently, but now it's Rindt's turn to shine as he is battling the McLarens.
Indeed. Question is, can he get past one of them? Because Prost is still in the DRS of Peterson, and that's going to likely stay the same. I wouldn't think McLaren would try and lose DRS behind, well, from each other, I should say. And their lead is, well, Cheever's lead to Jarier is 10.3 seconds. And what pace are Lotus doing? I mean, they're doing... Well, Jarier was doing a quicker time than the front of the field last lap, but I think that was probably... No, I don't think it was a boost or anything.
Jarier was the quickest man on track last lap.
He was genuinely just quick, and he's not far behind this group here. I mean, you can see them. Here's Breutemann. He's, what, less than 3 seconds off of Jody Scheckter. So, and Jody Scheckter hasn't got any DRS, so he's struggling here because of it. And he can't get to Rindt because Rindt's got DRS behind both McLarens. Great lead that the two RWBs have, well, especially Cheever. He's getting it to almost 6 seconds over the McLaren of Alain Prost. Obviously, going to be in it. He's obviously going to be in earlier, but yeah, great lap from Prost because that was slightly faster than Jarry's the previous lap, and 1.6 seconds.
Here goes Rindt past Prost again. Rindt once again.
But Reutemann did a 1:19.9, so I mean they're at similar pace at this stage of the race on a harder tyre.
Pache ahead.
Yeah, he's boosted. I don't think Lotus will mind that. It will just give him boost again.
I don't think McLaren will mind what
Rindt's my dearest. Yes, he has boosted ahead of both McLarens. So it's going to give him DRS, and that will get them closer again to Mansilla once more. So he's slightly gapped them in the last few laps, but Scheckter probably under threat later on here because he's from the hard tyre runs at least, because he's got no DRS behind Prost. He can't close in. He has good pace though.
Yeah, his pace is good. Nannini and Pache are now blocking the Lotuses, which is quite...
I was about to say it was going to be beneficial, but that was only when one of them went past one of the Lotuses. Then the other one did as well, so...
Right, Mansilla's going to be in now, as they're about to catch him.
Yep. So Mansilla stays out.
Now. So that's strange.
And Rindt is almost in his DRS, which would be great for him.
Rindt's just plain faster than McLaren's.
And he's got it. But
here's Scheckter as well. McLaren are not fast.
Not in this stage of the race, no, they're not. And they've got older tyres than the Tyrrells, to be fair. They've got 3 lap older than Rindt and 2 lap older than Scheckter. Scheckter passes Prost with boost, and also Peterson. I don't know really why I needed to do that though, because now he's just going to be passed by them. Well, unless he's got the pace. Anyway, Mansilla now in. What can Rindt do? What's his gap to Cheever? It's 3.7, and he Smashed the middle sector, obviously, because it was... I don't think that was boost, though. I think that was just his lap time, wasn't it? Because he got DRS behind the Mansilla. And then was in clean air.
Yeah,
So,
the mediums are not lasting as long
no,
as expected.
I think it was a good move from both the Lotus team and the Alfa Romeo team to go for hard tyres. But Alfa Romeo at the moment, they're just stuck up behind cars they don't need to be. But they got boost, so... And there's nothing to really worry about because they got a healthy championship lead anyway. And at the moment, McLaren are struggling to score the big points.
Alpha already won the constructors.
Alpha,
so...
yeah, I know, and Alpha don't really care about if either Depay or Stomlin win the championship. It's the threat of Prost, obviously, and Prost is in, along with Chiva, which is just astonishing. One on the softer tyre, and they put it on the same lap, so it's not gone well for McLaren so far. Can it be retrieved later in the race when things really do matter? Anyway, Peterson passed Scheckter, which would be sort of a relief to him, but he'll be in this lap, and Scheckter will continue on for probably a couple more laps, but not much longer. But Rint, what can he do when he makes his stop? Depends on how much time he loses in these last few laps here. Because you want to be around where he is now, or where he was just before the end of this stint. Doesn't want to be catching up again.
Yeah, this is bad news for Scheckter because he's getting held up.
Well, not really there. It looks... No, I think it'll be alright. But yeah, Jarier was going to come up behind him anyway. I suspect he might boost Jarier. Nope, he doesn't. So Jarier will wait another lap, but by the pace he's got, that should be quite easy for him anyway. Taking 2/10 out this sector. So Lotuses are unleashed. The Alfa Romeo is still not though. Depay is battling Beltois, which is a battle he wins. And that was mixed in with Mario Andretti as well, which is very hard to see because the ghosting effect on the 3D application is just not very good. But anyway.
Yeah, McLaren need to clear Ligier quite pronto.
They do. I mean, they're further behind than they were relative to Chiva after they made their first stop. And that's to Jochen Rindt, so it's not brilliant. Because Chiva got out... Was he just behind the McLarens, I think? Was he ahead, I think? Can't remember. He's going to be in soon. Well, he's going to be in later than Scheckter, but he's going to be in soon, and Scheckter will be in soon. He's been passed by Jarier this lap with DRS. And Reutemann about to dispatch him as well for third place on the road. Spec Jarier will make light work now with Jochen Rindt in the coming laps and get into the lead of the race. And Jarier just sometimes does turn up for a race. Quite often this season, it's not been enough really, but he's done it. He did it in Japan.
He's done it. But he's been better than Reutemann in the last few races. I think aside from Reutemann's victory in Azerbaijan, Jarry's been the one on the podium in the last two races.
But across the season, Reutemann's been the better threat, and Jarier just last two seasons has had a bit of a struggle really. But he has the odd race where he's just excellent. I mean, he's been excellent here before. I mean. He won this race twice, didn't he? Or at least once.
Yeah, he's been superb here. He's usually... This is, for some reason, the circuit where he tends to go best at. For some rather unknown reason. Yeah.
Usually he would get out in front and just pull horrendous gaps on everyone else. But at the moment it's having to catch everyone back up because they started further back. Anyway, Scheckter is in, so Rindt will be in next lap. Now where will Scheckter come out?
Yeah.
He's got Nannini and Beltois coming in as well. He'll be way behind the McLarens, he'll be way behind the Ligiers, so not brilliant. He's going to be basically at the back of the field. Indeed he is.
I mean, I don't know what Ligier are doing. They're trying to race or block McLaren. It's a bit odd because they are not really in that fight. No. In fact, they're not really in the fight with arrows either. But
not in a fight for a lot of things really this season. But anyway.
Yeah, they have got a podium. Their first ever podium.
Yeah, indeed. So,
will Mauro Baldi be in this lap? One would suspect he will.
Indeed he will. Surprised Jarier never got past Rindt before then. And he goes onto the medium tyres again, obviously.
Baldi's not in the pits, so that's odd.
Now, where's he going to come out? Because this is interesting. Obviously, he'll be behind the McLarens, but it depends where he is in that train. A bit behind them. Behind one of the Ligiers as well. He's going to boost, though. Predictably. And be up behind the McLarens again. Shame he's used so much boost because he's an AI, but that's how it is. Anyway, the two Lotuses out in front. They've got a lead of No, it's about 3.2 seconds or so. Back to Depay from Reutemann to Depay.
I've been saying for ages that on the same strategy as either Lotus or McLaren, Alpha just cannot. They have no answer.
Well, they
not as
don't.
far.
Yeah, but they don't. It doesn't matter to them really. This race, it
doesn't
just
matter.
It doesn't. Their battle is with McLaren, and McLaren. They're going to close in, of course, but then so will Alfa Romeo and Lotus again. But it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, Cheever could actually win this race.
He could. He's only what 6 seconds.
Not.
He's only 6 seconds off. He's got quicker. He's obviously got better tyres at this stage. He's got great pace. He's going to go on for what? How many more laps?
A while.
5, 6, something like that.
I think we're going to see in this lap will be Jarier because he pitted first and last.
Sorry, way longer than that. Sorry, because he used soft tyres for the first 2 stints, didn't he? He'll be going what same distance as well, 16 or so, 17 laps. Yeah, it's quite a while for him to go, about 10 more. But and he's up behind the 2 Alfa Romeos. Only problem for Cheever, of course, is that because there's an AI, he's using so much boost, everyone else is going to close up to him. It's whether he's got the pace to hold on.
Yeah, he's got a 10-second gap to Peterson.
Of course he has, but it's, that might not be his fight in the end. It might be someone else. Anyway, Jarier in the pits on lap 33. Interesting where he'll come out.
I think that, yeah, Alfa Romeo think that their customer RWB are underfueled, and I think they might be right by about half a litre or a litre.
Yeah. To be fair, that is quite evident. That is quite evident when it's Interlagos, to be fair, when you are underfueled.
Well, I guess we'll see.
Yeah, we will.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
extremely excellent.
Up behind the 2 McLarens, basically where he was the last stint. And he has to wait a while until he can basically get past them because Prost and Peterson are maintaining DRS. I suspect without this he would be closing up to the back of everyone else. But he can't because he's got these 2 slower cars in front of him. And I say slower cars because they genuinely were slower cars in the last stint.
They've got older tyres as well. And
there's no question. There's no question about that. But he can't get past. It's not long enough for back straight to get past. I mean, even Peterson can't do it on Prost. And that's an effect that wears even further down as the race goes on. Anyway, Depay and Stomlin. I was about to say they're battling up behind Cheever, but it's Cheever who got past them. So, not really much of a battle, is it? So Cheever out in front, leading this race once again. And we're
the thing I would say is that if
Cheever's
underfueled by, let's say, a quarter of a lap, he's got the gap to win this.
Yep.
If he runs out coming into the final proper corner, he's got the gap.
Indeed. Potentially. We'll just have to wait, though. But more than halfway through this race, and he's still leading. It's quite amazing.
If this actually comes off, that would be the most bizarre thing I've seen.
But of course, if he does run out of fuel, it won't... If he's massively under fuel, I should say, as in he's about a lap under or something, then it will be heartbreak for him late on. But
yeah, well, if they don't finish, they don't finish.
It'll be a good run. It'll definitely be a good run. I'm trying to think the last, presumably last American to win a race was Mario Andretti in, season 20 Canada?
Yes,
season 21 Canada.
Yeah, that was after Gurney.
21 Canada, yeah.
Yeah.
He's running 16th in this race. A little bit less. A great performance from him, I should say, but he did go longer. He was on a different strategy, of course, to Chris Amon, who started on the Super Softs. So Amon on the same strategy that the 2 McLarens were, and Andretti on the same strategy that the 2 Tyrrells were, and other cars.
Aston Martin.
Yep.
Yeah, Brabham.
RWB. At the front of this race.
Yeah, they went 2 soft stints. So.
Oh yes, they did. But yeah. Anyway, Cheever's got a 5.7 second lead over Mansell. He's around the 10-second mark. He was ahead of the McLarens for a while, and that's remained like that.
Well, he's taken a second out of him on the last lap. Here comes Rindt.
Finally, using his boost. Now, how far in front of the McLarens can he get? I mean, McLaren could just use their boost to get closer to him, though. Whether they want to.
Point
whether they want to is another question.
Rint's not got much less boost than Peterson.
No, but he's going to use more and more. He's going to have none by the end of the race, and he's 9.2 seconds off of Cheever. So he's in a worse position, unless, of course, Cheever runs out of fuel.
Yeah. But Rint's real fight, I mean, in the championship, Rint's fights...
I mean, his real fight is a potential point or something like that. A top 6, maybe, if some people fall away. But, yeah, it's obviously not going to be a win, because he's an AI. It's just not going to happen.
Well, so you say that, but Cheever's an AI, and he could do it.
Yes, but that's because he's so far in front at the moment. It's rather negated the problem. And also, because of that, he's not obviously using his boost at the moment because he's in clear air. So he's only used about half of it because people are closed up to him. I think mostly because he's been up behind the McLarens a few times, but after he's made his stop and everyone else has. But otherwise, he hasn't had to use it a lot. And at the moment, he obviously isn't having to. Rint
I'm confused about Lotus at the moment. He's not really closing on Eamon.
Yeah, and this is the first time they've not been up behind the car as well. They've been running free air basically. I mean, they're coming up to the back of Amon, but they're not digging into Cheever's gap at the moment massively, are they?
Here comes Scheckter on his former teammate.
Yep, probably would have.
Quite able to...
Yeah, he probably would have liked to have passed Peterson, but that obviously wasn't going to happen. Maybe he can in the infield here. Difficult though. So Rint coming up to the back of Mansilla. Mansilla is going to be... Well, he's not going to be stopping. Well, he's going to be soon stopping, isn't he?
Yeah, I think we'll
probably this lap or the next.
I don't know. Yeah, no, it might well be this lap.
And he did go a lap longer, didn't he? Last.
Yeah, I don't know what I think they've made RGB gone longer than I think they expected. They've got the position to do that, really.
Yeah,
they've got the position. This is if they are not under fuel. This is one of the most baffling things I can't reclaim their last one.
They're gonna pit. They're gonna pit, and they're gonna be basically in the same group that the Lotuses currently are. They're gonna be on the tail of what, Gonchi or so on somewhere around there. Might even be ahead of that.
Got a full battery.
So they're going to be in with the Alfa Romeos, so let's say that, at least. And they're going to be on fresher tyres and
I'm not
softer
sure
tyres.
Mansilla will. Cheever should be.
Yeah, Cheever. Yeah,
swallowed up.
Yeah, Cheever will be. Well, is Mansilla going to come into the pits then? Not yet. Rint would like to have DRS up behind him, but I think it's a bit too far this lap. Might be his last chance to get DRS behind him. Although it doesn't really matter, to be honest. Indeed not. So McLarens continue to exchange positions on each other. Lotus are now. Yeah, Lotus are now starting to take down the gap. They're about 1.5 seconds fast. Well, Reutemann's 1.5 seconds faster than Cheever the previous lap.
This is bizarre race. I think it's really quite weird.
It is indeed. Cheever, Mansilla, Rint, Scheckter, Prost. Mansilla does come in. Peterson, Reutemann, and so does Prost. Jarier, Amon, and Pache, the top 10. And that'll change for a bit as the two cars come into the pit lane of Mansilla and Prost. Lap 43 is 69.
It's going to be quite bad news for Peterson, actually. Because Prost was ahead of him.
Indeed, and he's going longer.
Yeah. Next, we'll just have to work out what happens.
Indeed. Yeah, Cheever will not mind this one bit at the moment. I think he'll take being 14 seconds ahead of the Lotuses as he's about to make his stop.
Yeah, well, yeah. Shocking stuff.
28 seconds ahead of the McLaren of Alain Prost.
Pole sitter.
Yeah, two-time champion.
Tyrrell 1-2.
Indeed it is. It's like the good old days of 2 seasons ago.
There's a genuine chance, actually, that Alfa Romeo might not score any points in this race.
Yeah. True. But I think they can hold on for the championship, of course.
Yeah.
They're not
they've won the championship.
But it's going to be difficult to clinch it here, I suppose, because unfortunately Stomlin's not beaten the pie massively.
Ross needs to win with Stommel at 8th or lower.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Depay has to outscore him by, what, 11 points? So
10 points? Yeah, 11 points.
Yeah, he can't win on countback with more wins, because Stolen will have more by the end of the season.
Yes, I think unless he... because I think they both have... I think
Depay has
3.
I thought Stolen had, like, a stupid number.
5.
Is he? I thought he had 6.
And Depay has 3. So it is doable on
Yeah.
Cap. I don't know who has more second places. So
But to
I
be
can't
fair, the
comment.
game is quite weird with it. Sometimes it doesn't do it, because I've seen it happen in other championships. Anyway, Scheckter decides to boost up behind Rint, which is probably quite a long time since they've been together in the race, really. Only the early few laps, but then Rint broke away, didn't he, when he got into the top 10.
Yeah, well, I think McLaren might start closing on Mansilla and Cheever because they've now got the same age tyres, and you would presume that McLaren is inherently a faster car.
Indeed.
So,
Pache running in the top 5 at the moment. Completely forgot
yeah,
about
he's a
him.
good driver.
Yeah, he's
He's
done
terrible
well
in
today.
Canada. Awful in Canada, but
Yeah,
he's very good in that.
Yeah, it was a baffling performance, and it did call into question his place in the team. But that's more really down to the fact there isn't drivers available for the team, and they're just gonna have to settle. But they do like Pache, and he's obviously returned to the team after Dan Gurney spent a season, well, nearly about a season in the car.
Yeah, with Gurney has got Brabham's best result of the season with 4th in Japan,
Yes.
and that actually was a large
Yep.
reason as to why
He
he
has.
was so close to Tyrrell.
But from what I know, he's likely going to go back to either match, or he's just going to totally retire from the sport. And
Yeah, remain as a test driver or something.
yeah, well, I think he's going to have a team in Formula Junior, but that's about it.
So 15.6 for Prost last time around, which is 2 seconds faster than what's going on out front. But Rint was quite a way clear. So McLaren really need to start putting the times in, because I think Rint will be in this lap. No, Scheckter will be in this lap, then Rint the next one.
Yeah.
So
I'm just baffled by the fact that Stobman is not closing up to the back of these two Lotuses. He's got fresher tyres, and he hasn't got the pace, and he's got boost to use. So I mean, they could just spare it and get to the back of the two Lotuses and run in for a potential, well, decent result. It might not be a win, but it would.
Here comes Mansilla to help Rodriguez.
Indeed. Anyway, where is Scheckter going? He's gone onto the soft tyres. He's well, far back really, basically where he was on his own.
Yeah, but he's going to catch up to McLaren.
Of course he is, but he'd be rather ahead of the McLarens by now, and on the soft tyres.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know, that's the problem. You'd rather be ahead of them and then on the softer tyres. Do what, of course, Cheever has done for a while, because he's ahead of them by easily. He's 10 seconds ahead of them. He's used a bit of boost now, actually, to be fair. He's used about 0.25% of it. That he would, well, from the amount that he did have. Because he's been stuck up behind these Alfa Romeos. So, Rint, let's see where he comes out. Yeah, it's not great.
15.3 for Prost, which is 1.7 seconds faster than race leader Reutemann. Scheckter and Rint are together.
Yeah, I think Rint would be a bit disappointed with that. He's going to boost up to the back of them, but I think he would have liked to have been ahead, just up behind the two McLarens. Which he is now, but only because of his boosting. And he'll find it hard to pass them, even if he is on the softer tyre. Anyway, Reutemann and Jarier joined together. Forgot that Reutemann is now ahead of Jarier as well. He's used more boost, but...
I think personal best set to 15.6. That's going to be boost related.
I should think so. But Stallman did a 15.7, and he hadn't used any, so I think that was just DRS in the lap time.
Oh, they're really balking Cheever. Alfa Romeo not wanting to help their customer.
As Rint briefly passes Rint. Sorry, Peterson, and does now, sorry.
Yeah, Prost may as well let him go here, because it's not going to... It's not,
yeah.
It's just not.
Well, he might as well, because then you'll get DRS potentially behind Rint and get back past him. If he's got enough pace, of course, but I think Rint will just want to stay up behind the Frenchman and get past and then gap him easily in the next lap. So, Reutemann, Jarier, lap 51 of 69, coming towards the end of this race now. Of what is been a rather intriguing Brazilian IGP. Eddie Cheever still, you would say, in the pole position at the moment to take this victory, but of course, obviously has to stop again. Everyone else has to stop at least, well, once, so yes, really.
I think everyone has one stop to go, so this is possibly the real race order.
It is. Which is why I would say that Lotus are in the box seat. I mean, I would say Cheever's in the box seat because he's quicker at the moment, but the issue is going to be getting past these Lotuses and then building up a gap, which I don't think Lotus are going to allow anyway. They'll probably just boost, or they'll probably just have enough pace to stay in the DRS, so I don't know. But anyway, here comes Cheever. He's going to get into the lead of the race once more, as the two Lotuses come closer to each other as now the McLarens and Tyrrells are starting to close down the gap, but it's not going to be soon enough for them to get to the back of this field, I imagine.
I think I'm Scheckter.
And the issue, at least Peterson has, is his boost. Prost has got a decent amount, and he saved it. Yeah, Scheckter does come through, and he's now ahead of Rindt for the first time in a while.
And he's got just a tiny bit less boost, so...
Yeah, and Jarier in. So, this is his last stop of the race. He's going to go, presumably, onto the medium tyres for the final stint.
Hard.
It's gone onto the hard tyres. So, clearly Lotus think that those tyres are probably the best performing over that amount of time. Might be right. But, the issue I see with that is that everyone else is going longer and is going to have a better stint for either mediums or softs. So I don't really understand why he's done that. You might as well just go for the mediums and go to the end and have the best possible pace at the start of the stint.
Yes. Look, Aston might have dropped Andretti and Nannini.
I suppose it doesn't matter though, because they are in a fight with Chiva, who's got barely any boost left and is going to be losing time now, as he waits to make his last stop and might potentially run out of fuel.
Yeah, a lot still to play for there.
Yeah.
Now, has Scheckter gap Peterson? No, he hasn't. So I don't think the softs are working as well as they would have hoped.
Yeah, they would have worked well if they were ahead, but not really.
Yeah, well, the boosting probably hasn't helped either.
Well, they couldn't do much about that. They need to obviously pit earlier, but you can't anticipate that, can you? I mean, unless there's a manager in the game.
I mean, the McLaren Tyrrell fight's legitimate because they're both probably going to go to soft for the final stint.
It is,
and they're all in the same place on track. So
it would be quite legitimate if Peterson had a bit less boost. That would be a proper fight to the end, wouldn't it, on pace?
You assume it's going to be Prost ahead of Peterson, then Scheckter, and then Rindt. Rindt, having run ahead of his teammate for so long, may not
Start losing time now. Yeah.
Peterson's lost DRS, so... And he's behind Rindt too.
Yeah. Bit weird though. I thought when Rindt and Scheckter got ahead of one car and then got up behind the other, they would have DRS passed them and then flown away, like they had previous stints, but it hasn't happened on the soft tyres. Although Schecter's starting to do it now somewhat, but not really a lot. He's not even... Now he's got a DRS gap once more on Prost. But he's not clearing Prost massively. He's not like 3 seconds ahead. He's only about 1.2 still.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's Stomlin. He goes to the medium tyres, as I thought. Everyone else going a bit longer would go for a more softer tyre and see how that works. But the problem he's got is he's in this group here who are behind the two Lotuses that are on their own. Well, Andretti's boosted past them, but otherwise they are on their own. The amount of boost Andretti's using is amazing. So the Paille slots in ahead of his teammate Stomlin, but it won't matter. None of this does really matter. Stomlin will be champion.
Yeah, I'd almost forgot that was happening.
And he'll be the second, obviously, German Allflattious iGP champion after Sebastian Vettel in season 16, who won the championship at the final race in Japan that season.
That was a very interesting race.
Although it should have been as this here, the penultimate race in China, but Red Bull rather screwed that one up. But yeah, that was an interesting season indeed. Probably one of the most, probably since this one maybe. I don't think a lot of others were that interesting in the previous seasons.
I don't know, it was a very, very tense championship battle between Vettel and Alonso. It was very...
Yeah. Decided probably by one race, but yeah.
Yes, quite possibly, but yeah, it's a very good title fight.
Indeed. Anyway, Chiva. He's still got to make his last stop. And he'll go on to, I imagine, the soft tyres. Or we might even go on the super softs. I don't know what RWB have planned. Because that is not the... It's not the tyre he started on, but it was the tyre that Prost, Peterson and Amon started on, and that was a similar stint. So presumably Tyrrell were going to do that as well. Which is interesting. And then, of course, the two McLarens will be back onto that tyre, I should suspect.
I think McLaren had got about a litre too much fuel. As to Ferrari.
Well, let's see anyway. What does Prost go on to? I mean, he has to, really. No, he goes on to the softs, so he thinks of caution here. Probably the right choice, because it is the overall better performing tyre for that stint.
But
And
he thinks Prost has got to actually pass all these
I know.
cars on track, though.
He does, and they're all in a long, long line together with DRS, so it's going to be tough.
The way that strategies have been set is not how they're working out. I think everyone should have pit already.
Oh, what's going on here? Two
I think
tills
that
exchanging
I
boost.
think something is broken
Yeah.
about the way that the AI are running their races.
Yeah, it does seem like it. Anyway, Peterson in. Presumably he's going to go onto the softs as well. Maybe he'll go super softs. He might as well. No, he goes softs. I presume everyone else should be going super softs then.
I know, but I'm pretty sure it's set for soft, but something is broken about the way the AI are running in this game.
Indeed.
Everyone should have pitted on lap 57.
Anyway, right now it looks like it's going to be a battle between the two Lotuses and Alfa Romeos for the race win, which is amazing because the Alfa Romeos have been way behind. Well, not way behind the Lotuses, but a good 3 or 4 seconds behind. But now they've got more boost. At least
No. I think it's still Cheever because he was 10 seconds clear of the McLarens.
He's only 17.9 seconds ahead of everyone else, though. Yeah. No one else has got a stop left. He's got less boost. There's a potential of him running out of fuel. The only way he's gonna win this race is if he's got amazing pace. Pace that negates the fact that everyone else behind him has got no boost. Well, it's got loads more boost. Apart from Reutemann's only got about half. But I would say, based on this, Depay is in the best position. But then again,
in real trouble actually as to whether he's going to beat the Tyrrells or not.
Yeah, we'll have to see on that one. Anyway, Cheever in now finally. I wonder if they'll let Depay win because it doesn't really matter for Alfa Romeo.
They should, but I doubt they will.
They'll secure the drivers, no matter, because Depay has to have. Well, to be fair, no. If Stallman is not at least second, I think it does get to the last round, obviously. But
is Rint.
Yeah. And here comes Cheever now. The issue is he's going to use the rest of his boost. He's not even used it enough to get ahead. He's going to be quicker.
He's going to get ahead and he should gap them.
Yeah, but he's not going to do it enough, I don't think. In 7... Well, it's going to be 6... Well, it's going to be 7 laps soon, isn't it? So, it's not enough time. And Alfa Romeo and Lotus, if they're smart enough, they'll just use each other to close back up to Cheever eventually. So I don't think it really matters. But Cheever's in a good position as long as he doesn't run out of fuel. He'll get a top 5 potentially, or at least top 6 or something like that. Anyway, further back from that, we've got the 2 Tyrrells and the 2 McLarens. So they're going to, well, Tyrrell are going to score double points for the first time in forever, I think. Quite a while. Probably since Austria, when Rindt made his debut for the team, didn't he? Or second race, I think.
That was his first race.
It was his first race, and he beat Scheckter, didn't he? That was a good race for him.
Yeah.
They were 5th and 6th, weren't they? I mean, something like that, anyway.
Yeah.
But that was the last time both cars are on the points, I think. Since then, it's just been one each.
Right, they've caught Mansilla by the looks of it.
Yeah, it's been a fallow season for them, really. At least last season they won some races. Got podiums regularly.
Yeah, I think McLaren have got a minor problem. They actually can't beat. They can't actually close up.
I suspect it's a race for the win between Depay, Stallman and Jarry, isn't it, really? And Cheever, potentially.
I think it's got to be down to Depay. I don't think Jarry's in it.
Well, he's got similar amount of boost to Stallman. The only issue is he's on the hard tyres and he's stopped earliest of everyone in this group. But we'll have to see. Reutemann is out of it, I think, unless he gets into a really sneaky position and the boost doesn't matter for him. But I would say Alfa Romeo should win. I should say Alfa. Yeah, they're not. And Alfa Romeo should win this race. But yeah, they're not quick. They're slower than similar time to Rindt. Obviously slower than Scheckter, but that's pretty obvious why. And Peterson was slower than Scheckter.
McLaren are looking at what might be by far their worst result of the season.
Indeed. And Mario Andretti running 11th. Totally forgot about him existing.
Yeah.
Without the boost problem, obviously, and having a manager in there, he'd be doing quite well, wouldn't he? Because he'd be closing in now on the McLarens and having boost. Depends how his race would have been run, of course, because he's done quite an odd strategy.
Yeah, well, something's been wrong with the stint lengths.
Yeah.
I can tell you that much.
I mean, I was only saying that because slightly earlier in the race, it didn't look like he was doing very well compared to Amon, but now he's well ahead of him, 13 seconds or so.
And off goes Scheckter after Mansilla.
Yep.
Just going to leave Rint exposed to
I sort of
McLaren.
wish Cheever could get a podium here, but it's just not going to happen, unfortunately. He's not far enough ahead.
Not unless anyone else has fuel troubles.
Yep. Scheckter, what a race from him, I must say.
Yeah, good job.
And not a bad job from Rent either. I don't know what's really happened in these last two stints where he's just dropped away from Scheckter. I don't know if it's a thing later on in races, but early in the race he was brilliantly quick.
Yeah, Rint had the advantage of being ahead on the grid, but aside from that...
Yeah, I think it was just a point when Scheckter used boost and Rint didn't react. Otherwise he would be the one doing this now. Presumably,
yeah, McLaren
presumably would be quicker because he's got better tyres. Anyway, can Scheckter...
a while blocking Rint.
Yeah.
The pace is not good. McLaren's pace is terrible.
I know it isn't, but they'll recover to 6th or 7th.
Much fuel.
Yeah, they'll recover to 6th or 7th though with Prost. Well, Prost probably will be 6th, and Peterson should get 7th. He should do if he's got pace. Enough, at least. Although he is boosting at the moment, and Prost is having to follow with it. Anyway, on to the last lap here. Eddie Cheever obviously in the lead, but that's not going to last for long, I don't think, unless no one does anything here. They're going to wait for a while.
I think it'd be nice if they let him win.
But I don't think that's going to happen. Here comes Patrick Depay. He's surely going to win this race now. He's far ahead of his teammate. He's got the most boost of anyone. And Cheever is going to be passed easily. Reutemann going for it. But, of course, he's going to run out of boost soon enough. Here they all come. Stommelen was slow on the button at some point there and has lost position to Jarier. So he's going to finish behind him. And that's going to bring the championship to the final round, isn't it? If Depay wins there. Cheever does run out of fuel.
And it's going to be the same for Mansilla.
So it is going to go to the final round. Patrick Depay wins in Brazil. Carlos Reutemann 2nd. Stommelen 3rd. Jarier 4th. Cheever, great 5th place. 6th Prost. Mansilla 7th. Peterson 8th.
Scheckter 9th.
10th.
He'd have won that if he didn't run out of fuel.
Yeah, he would have. 11th Andretti. 12th Beltoir. Rodriguez 13th. Pache 14th. Nannini 15th. Amon 16th, Bourdais 17th, Ix 18th, and the 2 arrows of Gavan and Baldy at the back of the grid, obviously. Back of the field, I should say.
Okay, I would like to clarify that it was 59 points and 34. Yeah, on count back, it would be impossible for Depay to win the title. So Stommelen is the champion.
Is he?
Yeah, because Depay is 4 second place, and Depay only is 3.
I thought... Oh, true. Yes. Fair enough. Yep. He has been outscored. Yeah, he's only outscored him by 10 points. Yeah, you are right. So, Rolf Stommelen does become the 2nd German champion to ever win this title in Brazil, and that means Alfa Romeo scoop up both championships. It's been a great debut season for them, but it was half expected, to be honest. Most new teams that have entered the championship have gone on to win both championships. So, a great example, and they went on to win 2 extra double titles along the way.
And Fire 395 done the same thing.
Yep.
It's a very frequent occurrence.
It is indeed, and it's going to be interesting next season to see if they can defend it. They are staying. There was a rumour about that they were going to leave, which was going to make the championship runner very furious with this sort of action. But, yep, Reutemann rounds it off with a podium, but yeah, I'm surprised by that, to be honest. Surprised
nicked the fastest lap.
I should say I'm surprised that Reutemann did beat Jerry in the end, but there we are. Yep.
Yeah. Cheever deserved the result, I think.
Yes, he
elevates him in the championship.
Yeah, that was an excellent result. I mean, he was only 1.5 seconds off the lead, and that was having run out of fuel as well.
Yeah, I think he may well have actually won that with 1 extra litre of fuel.
Potentially. Although, I don't really know how, because, I mean, it must have just been because of the point at which they started boosting. Otherwise, they should have been easily clearing Cheever. But yeah. I suppose they did know he was going to likely run out of fuel, so it's, yeah. I suppose we should go through the championship standings now.
Yeah. Well, Stomlin's won it. He's got 259 points. Depay second with 2, 3, 4. Prost now actually under threat from Reutemann because he's on 208, which means that Depay has secured second in the championship. So the battle is for third between Prost and Reutemann. Reutemann on 199. Jarry's secured fifth. He can't be beaten. He can't beat Reutemann on 170 points. Peterson on 138 in the second McLaren. Scheckter strengthens his hold in seventh. He's on 53 points. Then it's Nannini with 44, Eamon 27, Beltois rounds at the top 10 with 25, Rindt on 22 points in 11th, 21 points for Mansilla in 12th, tied 13th, Janssen and Pache on 20 points. In 15th, tied Bourdais and Gurney on 18 points. Cheever moves up to 17th in the championship on 13 points, now ahead of Gonzalo Rodriguez, who was 11. Jarno Trulli sits 19th on 6 points, ahead of Mario Andretti with 4, Joe Siffert with 3, Mauro Baldi with 2, and yet to score Jackie Ickx and Johnny Servo's Gavin. Another momentous day for Alfa Romeo sees them extend their already substantial lead. McLaren, whilst Lotus retake second in points. They are 3 ahead of McLaren, 369 to 366. Alfa on 493. Tyrrell have 89 points, whilst Brabham, another poor weekend, no points. They're 73 back and unlikely to take fourth. Aston Martin also failed to score, whilst Ferrari also failed to score. So it's Ligier who lose out because they were ahead of RWB, but RWB's big result of 16 points puts them just one behind Ferrari. It's 36 for Aston Martin, 35 for Ferrari, now 34 for RWB, so that's a hot battle for sixth. But the other main battle is for second behind Alfa Romeo, because Lotus have put in a great day to massively close that gap and in fact pass McLaren.
Yep. And obviously Ligier got most of those points from a podium position, didn't they? With was it Bourdais? It was Bourdais, wasn't it?
Yeah, all their points came from Bourdais.
Yeah. So the second place, which they got in, I'm trying to remember what that was. Trying to think how long that was. So long ago this season, I can't remember what race it was.
Yeah, was it the Hungaroring?
Hungaroring, yeah. Yeah, which was early on in the season. The race that Scheckter obviously should have won and ran out of fuel, and that did give him second. But yeah, you'd almost expect you would get ahead of someone with that kind of result, rather than getting it and then being passed by someone else with just top fives and decent results. But yeah, a great race for RWB in the end has lifted them up above Ligier, and they're not far off. And they're not far off of jumping two other teams of Ferrari and Aston Martin in the final race.
Well, they've made 3 pretty critical errors this season, without which they'd be a comfortable 6th. Running out of fuel in Spain cost them probably 12 points. They pitted Cheever by accident with a couple laps to go in Singapore, which cost them 5 points. And they ran out of fuel here, which has probably cost them God knows how many. They should really be a comfortable 6th.
Yeah.
But
they probably would have been second or third, I think, today without that.
Well, yes, you never know. But Alfa Romeo will be happy. 1:3.57 today. Not the fastest lap. Jackie Ickx stole that from Depay by actually 3 seconds. But yes, Ickx with another fastest lap. I think it's his 5th of the season. He is racking them up.
Indeed, and he might be at RWB next season. But anyway, it'll be the final race of this season in Australia next weekend, and then start of a new season. One that Alfa Romeo will defend both titles in. Until then, goodbye.